All right, everyone. Welcome to Florida. Our first rain in a month, and we can see just how bad the drainage at this property is. They actually saw us mowing a couple houses down the street with the Altos, knew that we could handle stuff that was wet. But they just purchased this and they want to go ahead and get some drainage repairs made. So this is, again, they just bought this, and this used to be a very heavily treed backyard that they just had cleared, not by us, or not by me, I should say. I will continue to say us for some unknown reason. So, gonna put these new Red Wing boots to the challenge here in the mud and muck. So this is what it looks like after the trees were cleared out, and you can see that the guys that did it left a mess, which is why they've called us in. So they didn't finish the job. They didn't mulch everything up as they were supposed to. They left it rutted, uneven. So they've just had the privacy fence put in, and wow, I'm gonna have to speak with the owner about this because they're 8 to 10 feet away from the neighbor's property. So there's a big gap between the two fences. So that's interesting. So we have drainage issues here. Back here, the plan is, or I should say the plan was, to put dry wells back on the tree line, but they've put a fence in the way. So, obviously down there by the well, we're gonna put in a good sized dry well there. Probably do another one somewhere in the middle. And then 2 more along the fence line to the back here. Each one being a basin draining towards the next until you get here, in which case we'll run it out into the woods, and there is a swamp in there. But again, they're another 8 to 10 feet off the property line. I don't know why they did this, but they have. And you can see the people that did the clearing just left just a mess. I mean, all that stuff is still on their property. They didn't clean it out. I mean, they didn't mulch everything up well. So again, the plan was to come in here and clean this stuff out, but I don't know that I can do it with the fence in the way now. There is a pipe in the ground. I'm not sure what that is from, but it definitely is not running out of this yard into the woods. So I can tell just by looking at it that it's going uphill. So that's not working for drainage. Decide we're just gonna bring in some soil, raise it up. Our biggest issue is the drainage along the pool here. We'll be doing another dry well outside of this door. Our big concern is this area right here. It's not going to show up too well on the camera, but this mound, this berm, is their new drain field, and it slopes right up to almost against the house. There's a 2-foot area of flat ground, and up there where those boxes are in the meters, water just stands by that door. I'll show you around when we walk back to the front. But anyway, the plan is to regrade this, bring in some soil, level it out, do the dry wells, put some sod back here. We're going to go with St. Augustine for the backyard all the way around. Outside the fence on that berm, we'll just do Bahia. But all this has got to come out, be redone. May or may not put some hedges around the pool. That's up to them. Right now, their only concern is the drainage issue. So I underestimated how much material I'd have to remove from this job. That's 2 loads I've got at least 3 more to go, and I only anticipated taking out $200 worth of material. So thankfully, talking to the homeowner, we're changing up the entire plan for the backyard. We're not going to do dry wells. All right, so we're taking some of the spoils to this property over here since they need to level their yard out. So saved us a bunch of time and therefore a bunch of money. I was spending $60 a load, as you saw, and an hour to run to the dumping bag. So this helps. All right, so here's where we're at. We're still grading this out, moving some sand around. We're gonna put a wetland, like a bog garden, in this spot here. We made a little depression, trying to get down to the hard pan. We took a good foot of material out of here. So back here, this side's pretty much done. Have the drywall to put in over there. Need to add a little more soil here to make a swale on the fence. So I'll get that done today. The dry well I'll probably tackle tomorrow. The rest of back here is, like I said, this bog garden. It's the main thing. Now these stumps are all pretty much staying in here because there's wiring and everything else for the well there. So we're gonna come out about 20 feet from the wellhead, do our bog garden in here, grade this out, and well, then it's time to plant and sod. But I'll show you more of this as we go. All right, here's where I'm at now. Most everything's graded. The rough grade's done. Gotta come back tomorrow with the dingo, finish setting up this wetland garden. Kind of dug out a perimeter. I'm gonna scoop out some of the stuff in there, settle it up here, create a berm to match the berm that's created by these roots. We're gonna cut some of those down a little lower. Can't go too low because of the wires in there, but cut them down, spray them. Probably hit them with, well, can't use Tordon with the pump there, so probably just Dicot. Just have to keep it going at it with Dicot. But have some more sand to put in there to get everything to kind of flow into what will be the wetland garden. This is pretty good up here. All back in here is good. Gonna put a little bit more sand in here to create a swale. The grade's got it going towards the fence down there, but I want to create a swale, keep it off of that fence. Over here, started digging the trench for the dry wells for these gutters, except as you can see, there's a gutter that's missing. And I can't set the box up until I know how the gutter's gonna flow. Plus, underneath that gutter is a pipe that feeds this. So I need the gutter to move out away from the house so we can get that box set flush, or I have to replumb the spigot here, which I really don't want to do. Anyway, so this is where we stand. See these big old tree roots here. That's off of the Chinese tallow trees there, but they're taking those out later in the spring. It would make more sense to do it now before this is done, but money is a concern. So after we get that dug out, have some more sand to put in right here and up in here. You can see just use the limestone that I was going to use in the trench up here. Kind of tore it up with the skid steer. So I'll have to get some more of that, but that's where I'm at now. Hopefully we'll have this project, at least the drainage part of it, done Friday. All right, so this is where we stand. Got pretty much all the grading done. Our drain line and dry well is done. Just have to finish backfilling it and grading out this corner. So we're gonna have to move that gutter out to where the drain is. It's sitting a little above grade now because we have to finish grading it, and then we're gonna be adding sod. But extend that gutter out to drain into it. Drain line runs down here. There's a dry well right there. There's a 30-gallon container surrounded by 3 yards of limestone screenings to allow seepage. So we got to finish, like I said, grading this corner out, pick up all the leftover material. Got to do a little touch up right here and behind the wellhead, and then finish carving out our wetland garden, which was a kind of a new addition because we've already taken out a foot of material and thought we'd hit hard pan, but haven't. See, there's been no rain in a week, and we have just water seeping up from the ground. So we're gonna turn this into a wetland garden, kind of like a hardwood hammock, which would be native to this area. So we're gonna do a small little kidney shape thing here that all drains. This area will all drain into it. We'll plant it, make it look landscaped yet natural. You can see there's already a few native plants that would grow well in that area. Mixed back in there, there's some fern, some elderberry. And the taro is not, I don't think the taro is native, but it definitely loves this kind of soil. So it's edible, so they might go with that. But I'm gonna finish this up and move on. As we progress, another yard of limestone, cut another 8 inches of soil at the basin here of the wetland garden, added a yard of crushed limestone. We're gonna put sand over the top of that, bring it back to within 8 inches of grade so we can get it planted. We're gonna create a berm there to match the stump mound around the well. We'll take those stumps down a little bit more. Again, with all the wires and pipes in there, I'm not gonna try and dig them out. We're gonna match the berm so that this wetland never backs up into the wellhead. All right, get some sand in there. All right, so we've had half an inch or so of rain so far. Got more coming. We have some fine tuning to do. The wetland garden is filling with water as expected. This side over here looks okay. We have some puddling against the house that we're gonna have to address. Mostly by this door. We couldn't raise the grade up here too much because the door wouldn't open, so I'm gonna have to move some of the dirt right here out of the way and let that water flow better. Back here, the last track I made with the skid steer, I guess left more of a rut than I realized, so I have to come back, finish this, grade this out, add a little bit more sand through here. Back over here, we're pretty good. Got a little low spot right here. We'll tweak that. The main problem is this area over here where the dry well is. The well is working. You can see the gutters putting water in here, but we have water coming off of what I believe is the channel inside the pool, but I don't know where it's draining, but it looks like it's running out down here somewhere. And then this, you can see the water's not even going into the downspout. It's leaking right outside of it. So this area needs to be fixed. It never ends. So that drain's doing its thing. It runs off onto a dry well there. This one, you see the standing water there is from a channel drain on the pool that just dumps out right there. Once that channel drain gets cleaned out, we'll put another drain line in here. This box runs out to a dry well over there. So there's some puddling, nothing terrible out here. There's a little bit more puddling there than I would like, but once we get sod down here, that'll be okay. And here's our wetland garden, slowly filling up. It did almost dried out from the last rain. We're gonna have to move those bales of pine straw, move them back. We're gonna put a berm here to keep water from moving up towards the house. Let it flow over there towards the fence and up towards that. There's a red maple right there. Once it dries out, that cypress is getting planted in the center here. But we need this to dry out first. All in all, it's looking okay. Next week, the sod should be recovered from the freeze we had. We can get some green grass down here. And then we'll finish up that wetland area and around this pool pump. So overall, looks a whole lot better than it used to. So I'm pleased. Again, there's some puddling right there. Once there's grass down, that'll be fine. They need to do their thing with the gutters. We don't attach anything to homes. So I'm pretty pleased. Hopefully they are too. All right, y'all. I haven't done an update on this property in a while. As you can see, got some sod in the truck. So there's 1,000 square feet in there. Got the remains of a 3-yard pile of topsoil. Have to get the dingo out here to finish moving this rock around and bring in a little bit more. We're only sodding up to about where this door is. So we started the sodding process. You can see the dingo has compacted this area pretty good, so we have to freshen this up a little bit. There's our wetland area. Still a work in progress. Got a couple of coral honeysuckles over there. There's 1 and 2. They don't really show up there, blend in. Pond cypress there. Got a red maple in the ground back there. This area, to save them some money, we're gonna leave these viburnums in here, right here. They're starting to come back from whoever came in here and hacked up the trees. So we'll clean out the weeds and some of the scrap, get that going. So we're using 2 types of sod here, sand-based and muck-based. So most of that area is gonna be sand-based, as well as back here. And here you can see where the muck-based sod is. Again, this will be sand. There's the end of the muck-based. We will be adding topsoil to this, just a thin layer, just to help it get started and root. This is where we're at. The homeowner still needs to fix their gutter situation, but it's working for now. We don't attach anything to buildings, so I'll leave that up to them. See, the sod's down, looking good. This area's been sprayed out. It should die in the next 24 hours. We'll tear it up, put some topsoil down, get that sodded, and then start working on this wetland area. Yeah, we haven't had rain in almost a week, and it was 90 degrees yesterday, and there's still a good bit of standing water in there. Unfortunately, the peat moss all got moved around, so we're gonna have to add some more of that. See a bunch of it's right there. These pine straw bales are there, just there kind of give the homeowner a basic idea of how this is gonna be shaped. We're gonna berm that off, add all kinds of plants to it in the backside and obviously in the back. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to work. I'll show you the side when it's finished. All right, finally, phase 2 of this project is complete. Phase 2 being the sod installation. If you remember, this was all sand and muck. So you can see see if we get out of the glare. Drop down. So we're gonna put jasmine minima in here. This, of course, is our wetland area. Got that pond cypress going in, the red maple's in down there. Got a holly tree and some other stuff going in, and a bunch of emergent and transitional aquatics. Gonna be putting a little paver area here to get out of the door. Small planting bed here. I'm gonna try and do this without getting the camera wet. They do not have an irrigation system, so this is what they are using. So right here, this existing vegetation's been sprayed out. This is gonna be a little planting area. And then this area was going to be a planting area, but they've changed it to be a seeding area. So I'm gonna show you the stone we're gonna use here to create a nice seeding area, another planting area, another paver area around the drain. They still need to get their gutter fixed. But here's the yard. Go back and look at the old videos with the before, and you can see this was just a wooded, nasty swamp. Took a lot of work to get this to look like a yard. 30 yards of sand, 12 yards of topsoil, another 9 or 10 yards of pea gravel. And you have the area down there that was the worst of it. You see the transition right there is the stuff that was just put down this morning, so it's pretty dry. So half hour of rain, or half hour of watering from that sprinkler, and we have, where was it? There's a little water down here. Wow, this stuff's already starting to root. Nice, but you can see there's a little moisture right there. But this grass will suck that up quickly. Alrighty. Phase 2 complete. Phase 3 is the wetland area. 4 are the pavers and the areas around the screen. 5 is that mound. A lot of work to do here still. So we've got the Toro out here. Getting ready to do our first cut on this grass, and it only hasn't even been 3 weeks, which is normally how long we wait, but this is already rooted well. It's growing good. Here's our wetland garden. Can lilies, bush mint, zephyr lilies, can lilies, butterfly weed, blue eyes, lizard tail, pickerel weed. Got a bit of everything going on there. Swamp milkweed, some bleeding heart vines, mist flowers, muley grass, tea olive, letting these viburnums grow back. Some Persian shield, which is the only non-native plant in here. Got more to do right in here. We're doing a little dry creek bed that won't really be dry once the summer comes. Actually, probably not even once tomorrow comes. And here you can see the grass looking good, lush and green. So the homeowner installed those trellises and the Confederate jasmine. I just purchased them for them, but they installed those. But the grass back here is looking good. So this is our first mow. We're actually gonna let this red maple come back too. So first cut. All right, so here we are. First cut's done. See our little butterfly. They are all over this place already. It's only been in the ground for a week, and butterflies have found it. So again, milkweed, canna lilies, the bush mint. Hard to make out in the video, but there's zephyr lilies. There's one about to bloom. That one's about to bloom. Pond cypress. Let's see, swamp iris. Like I said, the blue eyes, pickerelweed. Those two right there, I cannot remember the name of those plants. The muley grass. That's a cardinal flower. Up against that, where the little flowers are on that vine, there's a coral honeysuckle. Again, the tea olive, the viburnums, Persian shield, another bush mint, mist flower. I forget what these little guys are called again. They were a substitute for a different plant we had. Same thing with that plant and that one over there. They were substitutes. There's the bleeding heart. There's some taro coming in from the other side of the fence. It's going to be a dry creek bed, so they'll work their way through the rock, no big deal. Some cinnamon fern, a swamp rose right here. Let me pull the mulch away from that guy. So anyway, see these little guys I can't think of the name of have little blue flowers. Said the bleeding heart. And there's the grass cut. Looking good, looking good. Gonna get our first test of the wetland area tonight, as we are supposed to have a pretty vicious storm. So the flags are in there to identify where some of the dormant plants are. Like that guy right there, and there, and there, where those pickerel weeds, they're dormant in the winter. So they've come up. The lizard tail over there by the flags come up. So everything's coming in pretty good. Now I just have to wait to get the fence put back together, and this backyard is complete. Big project, time consuming, a lot of material, a lot of money.